Welcome back here to Borio's 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. Borio's open every single season. Summer, fall, spring, winter, whatever it may be. They're out here from snowmobiles to boats to weddings to bridal showers to banquets to just having dinner with the family. Borio's and Sunday brunch. Borio's is here for you every single day of the week except for Monday. They are closed on Monday, so make sure you make note of that. 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. Once again, Rob Drummond played for Syracuse. Those late 80s teams that you yearn for, that your mouth waters for the opportunity to get back to what Scott Schaefer seems to be the best coach for. The blue collar, hard-nosed, punch in the mouth, never say die, bring the national championship, bring the national champion into our home, and we will make this game, if for nothing else, interesting and competitive, is where he is working to get to beat the Clemsons, to beat the Florida States of the world. We are breaking down every single position of the offense. We're giving you a preseason primer that you can take with you all throughout the season, something you won't get anywhere else. The most in-depth coverage you will find on the Syracuse football team. We talked about quarterback. We talked about running back as well, and you can find those on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Now, we found our way to a position that if Rob and I tried out for right now, we got a fighting chance. And that's the wide receiver position. And it's no disrespect to the talent, it's that there's a depletion. If you want to use 4 or 5 receiver sets, they only have about 6 guys that really are rotating around in there with the first and second team. And I want to start with Jared West. He is the man that is known on campus. He's the veteran. He's the one that had to wait for the Mark Casales and wait for the Alec Lemons and got his opportunity last season, didn't make the most of it. He's got the opportunity again this season. He has this reputation of, even when he's the first guy, always being the third guy. Do you see him shaking that reputation this year?
First off, we have to talk about the position that's most important to the wide receiver position, and that's the quarterback. And we talked about that position. So now we have an established quarterback who's got a year of starting under his belt, so that's out the books. So these receivers, especially Jared, can come in and be relaxed right now. Over the past few years, Jared has been that type of receiver who's basically been a Robin, the Batman. He's never had to be in a position where he was the man. Him and Ashton Borio right now are in a position where now they're the leaders of this group, senior leaders at that, so they really have to step up. So right now the onus is on them as a receiver, as the head of this group. As I said before, what Coach Mack used to say, out with the old, in with the new. You can't think of that. You have to go out there and play football. Do the things that you've learned to do since you were a young kid and that you got through high school, got through that Division I scholarship, and got you to this point in your career. So Jared West just has to go out there and lead by example. And if he goes out there and lead by example with an established quarterback already, he'll be fine.
What do you like about Jared West? He's not shown himself as being an every down option. He hasn't shown himself as being a guy that can go across the middle. He hasn't shown himself as being a possession receiver, but he has shown himself as being a deep threat. If he's going to catch 4 passes a game, 2 of them are going to be 30-plus yards. So the one thing we do know about him is that he can be the deep threat when they need it. What else do you take away from him?
It's interesting to see what people do when put in positions that they're uncomfortable with. Jared West is put in a position now, basically, I say, of power because he's a starter now. He's not a second teamer. He doesn't have to go. It's not a position where he sits there and gets to watch the game, the ebb and flow of the game, and then go out there and do the things he has to do. Now he'll be in there from play one to the start. So now you have to go out there and make a name for yourself. And sometimes, or most often, when athletes, you put them in a position to make a name for themselves, they go out there, they shine, they do well because now the onus falls on him. The onus doesn't fall on anyone else now. The onus falls on this young man. So he has to go out there and make a name for himself. And the thing I like about him the most is his confidence going in. I talked to him probably about a month ago before camp started. He was looking very excited. He's very excited about coming into this year because now it's not him being a second teamer. Now he knows he's excited. He's the man. For a lot of guys, they really step up to the challenge like that. And when you get a player who can step up to the challenge and go out there and perform to the challenge that's put in front of them, that's the kind of player you want.
Another guy that you mentioned, Ashton Boyle, when he first came in, was not used as much as I think he should have been. Then there was this mixture of running back, wildcat, slot receiver, bubble screen. Then last year they said, okay, he's going to be a receiver. We're going to throw him down the field. We're going to see what he does. I don't think any of us can sit here and say he reached his potential last year. This year, how do you define Ashton Burrell right now? He has the opportunity to be one of the top 2 guys, but how do you see this man who we know is talented, and everybody has heard how talented he was in high school, but we have yet to see him use his height and use his speed to the highest level?
This is a young man that has all the talent in the world, and it's like, they're probably one of the most underused individuals in Syracuse University football history. They have to get the ball into this young man's hand because he's a playmaker. But you know what? It's, as I said before, I'm not at every single practice, so I can't understand what's going on in the coach's head. I can't even understand what's going on in his head. Football is a very, very mental game, and if sometimes he gets mentally weak or sometimes he has mental lapses, it can hurt you as a player. So right now, that young man just has to understand all the talent he has and just go out there and use it to the best of his abilities. And it's the coach's job to be able to put him in a position to be successful. That's what they did with me. They put me in a position to be successful. Every time I was on the field, it doesn't have to be a catch. It doesn't have to be a run. It can be a block. It can be a decoy. Trust me, the other coaches on other teams know how talented this young man is. You know what? But just go out there and do the best job you possibly can to help your team win. And that's what this young man can do right now because he has all the talent in the world.
When you talk about putting the ball in his hands, where do you think he could better serve the team? Trusting Terrell to find him out there on the field, or going back to the opportunity where he's kind of in the backfield as that H-back, like Grizzly has been?
You know what? You can't change the whole offensive line to fit one man because it's a team effort. It's a team game. But I think it's from a slot position, run him on screens, run him on reverses, pitching the ball, almost like a running back position type, but from the slot position. You can throw him quick slants, things of that nature. Somehow, you do the old 49ers with Jerry Rice. Give him the ball within 5 yards downfield and let him make plays. The Jerry Rice, yes, he ran some deep routes sometimes, but most of his routes were within about 5, 6, or 7 yards where he caught it, he was able to make a move on the defender and go to the house. That's how you need to get Ashton Burrell involved in the offense.
We heard about Ashton and we heard about Grizzly Esteem, and we saw similarities. The 2 guys, they said, just get him the ball. They got Grizzly the ball more than they've ever gotten Ashton the ball. So when you look at Grizzly and you look at this H-back, which by definition is that you're blocking most of the time, and then you're kind of a tight end, but the position has mutated into this running back receiver, kind of just a guy that stays close to the line that you give the ball to. If they're doing it for Grizzly, you say don't change the offense for one guy, but if there's similarities between Ashton and Grizzly and they have this speed ability and this elusiveness that we've seen, why not use Ashton the same way that you use Grizzly?
I say use Ashton the same way because if you think about it, Ashton Burrell's my size. Grizzly's not even close to my size. So you have a much bigger, stronger, just an explosive athlete in that position. You can do the exact same thing, but you can create probably much bigger plays. So right now, and he's more experienced. So but right now, as I said, don't change the position or the entire offense. All you have to do is go out there and get the ball in Ashton Burrell's hand and watch what happens.
The rest of the guys, Quinte Funderburg, Ben Lewis, Steve Ishmael, Jamal Custis.
Works in progress. I think that eventually they'll be good players, but right now it's just a learning process, and they just have to get, right now I say it's just like feeding a baby a bottle. They're learning on the run, but it's time for them to grow up fast.
Quinte Funderburg is a guy that was hyped like crazy coming in. He's started to show himself. He's practiced a lot with the first team. What do you like about Quinte? Because remember, he made one of the biggest plays in Syracuse's season last season, which brought them to the bowl game, where after Terrell Hunt had lost yardage on 2nd and almost 20, he targeted, of all people, Quinte Funderburg down the field, and Quinte made that catch that helped give him the first down, that helped lead to that winning drive. So what do you see from Quinte? Because that's a great play, but it's a play.
First off, to go off the whole hype, him coming in means nothing to me. Michael Owens had all the hype in the world. And granted, one of my best friends, he had all the hype in the world coming in as a running back at Syracuse. And what happened? For 2 years, I started over him. So hype really means nothing to me for a player coming in. It's what they prove once they get there. That's an testament to the type of player they are. And they prove he's the type of player. If you know what, this young man just has to go out there, as I said before, and just relax, stop reading press clippings, stop believing in the hype that he came in with, just go out there and play, because the hype means nothing, because as you said before, he just made one play his entire year after coming in with so much fanfare. Forget the fanfare. Now you're playing Division I college football, you have to go out there and perform with other guys who care less about how good you were in college, because, how good you were in high school, because they were just as good as you. So just go out there, relax, play football. He has all the intangibles, he has all the talent in the world. And just go out there and not from one play, but understand that he can do that every possible play if he could. Just go out there, and you'll be as good as you practice. And that's the best advice I can give these young men. You'll play how you practice. So if you practice like crap, you'll play like crap. If you practice for greatness, you'll play with greatness. So just go out there and try and make all the plays you can in practice that you expect to make in the game. These guys are going to be fine.
I have loved for more than a year Ben Lewis's hands when he's out there in practice preparing himself. I've loved him in single coverage with a guy on him. His ability to catch the ball by the sideline, lay himself out, go low, go high. One of the best receivers hands-wise a couple seasons ago when nobody knew who the heck he was. Now he's practicing with the first and second team. Nobody knows a lot of Ben Lewis as far as watching film on him, but this seems to be the year that if you're going to crack the starters, this will be the year for him to do it.
You know what, as I said before, out with the old, in with the new. This young man, all that young man has to do is go out there and perform. And he doesn't have a lot of time to do it, you know. It's training camp right now. You're into the second week. You just go out there and you can outperform a starter in practice. It's going to be tough, but you know what, just go out there and play. Like I said before, you'll play like you practice. If he goes out there and he performs in practice, he'll get the opportunity to play in games. But right now, I just want to see him cracking the starting lineup with those two young men in there, or those three guys in there in front of him. So just go out there and just perform.
Steve Ishmael, Jamal Custis, they're both true freshmen. Steve is coming from the hub of recruiting to many schools, and that's Florida. Jamal has had some moments that Scott Shafer has mentioned. Steve Ishmael has done it in front of the crowd. He's made a big play off of A.J. Long's only deep ball that he really threw. And he's obviously shown up. When you know that these guys are true freshmen, it still is this situation, this scenario that I don't think you can count them out. And Jamal's someone I want to see, some more from, as well as Steve. But Steve is somebody that I really honestly think is going to find his way into not necessarily a starting lineup, but rotation.
It's like Buddy Ryan used to tell me, or tell the players before when I was in the NFL. It's like, a young rookie, give me a reason to keep you. This is in the NFL where it'll cut you or keep you. Give me a reason. So these young men, whether freshmen or not, I don't expect a lot from freshmen because I understand how the game is played, and the stress on it. But if these young freshmen go out there and they're consistent with their play after play after play, they're consistent with practicing hard. They're consistent with making other players around them better, and the coaches definitely will play them. But if they're not, it's very hard for a freshman to do that, and they won't. But it's a learning curve, like with anybody. All these guys were before them, all these sophomores, all these juniors, all these seniors, were freshmen once, so they understand the game. But mentally, they're prepared for it. These freshmen, it's new to them. So, as I said before, so give me a reason to give the play you on the field, to warrant you playing on the field.
Rookie, give me a reason to keep you. Big words coming from Rob Drummond, words that he knows all too well. Rob Drummond of the CFL, the NFL, Syracuse Orange. Dan Tortora of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. We're happy to be here with you on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as wakeupcalldt.com's Back on the Field page. We are live from Borio's 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. The only place for you to go when you want good food, getting atmosphere, getting a view, getting an experience that you can't find anywhere else. Everybody can pitch that, everybody can say that, but very few people can give that to you. Borio's does just that. I've been here for bridal shower for my now wife. I've been here to bring my best man and the rest of the groomsmen on my bachelor day. You and I have been out here outside by the water. I've had the opportunity to be here when the snowmobiles were coming in and everybody was setting up downstairs and coming in to get warm. It's an experience that you really, truly will not find anywhere else. And to me, it's like being on vacation in Syracuse, which if you're from Central New York, you know that It doesn't feel like vacation a lot.
No.
So when you can feel like you're on a vacation, Borio's will do it for you. 8891 McDonnells Parkway in Cicero, New York. Make sure you stay tuned. We're talking about the tight ends and a new position that's not new, but it has a new meaning. You've heard us talk about it a little bit, the H-back position. That'll be coming up as well, right here on Back on the Field, live from Borio's.